I just wanted to make a video to show off my UI because I think it's pretty well put together and it really works well for me. I thought that I could share it to other people and maybe they would see it and think that it could work well for them or help them out. The unit frames and the rage bar in the middle of my screen is just LVUI. It's just a little more customized. It's not very basic LVUI, like I did adjust it obviously, if you know what LVUI looks like when you first download it. All the spells around it though, that's all WeakAuras. I do hide my actual action bars because I really only use them to hold the keybinds. I didn't really like looking at them, and with WeakAuras I could customize and move shit around a lot easier. The middle bar is obviously, I did separate everything into their own little groups. So the middle bar is just your four like main abilities. Originally I had Thunderclap here instead of Heroic Strike, but I didn't think it was too helpful to have it there instead. I moved it to a different bar. You can change these around pretty easily, honestly. Shield block being the easiest, where you just have to change that there and get rid of this text or change it to something else. For the other ones though, you'd have to go into the trigger and just change this text to whatever spell that you wanted it to be. It's not really complicated. It might look more complicated than it is, but honestly just changing this to a different spell name, that'll just change it to a different spell obviously. The first general WeakAuras bar, that is always displayed. It'll show, it looks long, but most of these aren't shown. It's just because of the different talents. These are always shown whether they're on cooldown or off cooldown. And it's just a small cooldown bar like you can see here. While the second bar is more cooldowns, but they only show when they're currently on cooldown. So if they're off cooldown, they disappear. So if you don't see them on your screen, then you'll know that they're currently ready to be used. You could change that and you could make them all just like the first bar if you wanted to. I didn't see the need to. I liked it better. Honestly, you could even make this to not show unless they're on cooldown. It's pretty obvious. If you didn't see it there on cooldown, then you know it's up and ready to be used. So I didn't think it was a big deal to show it. Sorry. This is just a large group that shows a bunch of your procs, different abilities and warnings and stuff. This one just shows this is basically for on-use trinkets. You could change this for any on-use trinket. This will show me the cooldown of my trinket, and this will show me the shield, which is for the tank trinket. Because when you use it, you get a large shield, and so I wanted to be able to track how big that shield is, how much of it I have left, all that kind of stuff. But if I don't have that shield, this will show me if the trinket's up or if it's on cooldown. I have it set to always show. This is just a simple resolve tracker. It just shows you the percent of resolve that you have. I don't normally use this, but I thought I should put it in case other people wanted to see it and use it for their own. My second trinket right now is just a Knight's Badge, which is a crit proc. So I didn't really think it was important to track it. But if you wanted to, if you had a different trinket or you wanted to track this own trinket anyway, you could easily, you just make this trigger to the buff name of both these triggers actually, to the buff name of your trinket, like what buff you get from the trinket, not the name of the trinket itself. The second trinket trigger in here is actually the name of the trinket. I just put that because otherwise this will always show even if you're not wearing the trinket. I didn't really want that. So that's really easy to change though. You can do that for any proc trinket really, just so you can easily track it, and it just shows you the progress of how long you have of the buff. This is for unyielding strikes, which is a talent. Well, obviously it'll only show if you're taking the talent. It just shows you the stacks and then shows you the progress, how long you have left of the buff. And then this is just a small thing to show me that I can use Victory Rush. I didn't think it was important enough to put it like anywhere big on my screen or anything, so I just gave it its like little text on my rage bar. This is just a warning that'll show me if I have taunt on cooldown. It's really easy to see through, it's pretty just like off to the side. But I thought it was important that I should be able to see the cooldown on my taunt. These two are a shield barrier, like they go together pretty much. This one, it gives you a rough prediction of what your shield barrier cast will do at this point in time. It'll scale with your resolve. It calculates how much, like based on how much rage you have, your versatility, your attack power, all that stuff. It's not completely accurate. It is a little off for most cases, but I couldn't find why, and I couldn't find anywhere that it was more accurate. And this one just tells you how much of shield barrier you have, like what the remaining shield is. This one just shows you the block, or your buff shield block. And this is a global cooldown bar, just because since I hide action bars, not all of my WeakAuras show the global cooldown. The main ones here, these do show global cooldown sweep, these two at least, because these aren't on that. And then this is just a simple, it basically says you can execute something. And then last thing is just this small group. It's just basically a bunch of your cooldowns as well as externals that, if you show the rest of this, they pop up here. It does go over shield block, but that'll only happen if you have like 6 or more buffs and externals on yourself, which shouldn't really happen if you're in an organized group. The only time that'll happen is if literally all your healers throw all their externals on you and you cast your own cooldowns. So you shouldn't really ever have a problem of overlap. It's just so you can see like your avatar, your bloodbath, bladestorm, all your own buffs, and then all the externals, so you know like whether you're safe or whether you need to call or use something. That's pretty much it. Most of this is really movable since it's all in its separate groups. Like you can move this on its own. This is the hardest thing to move probably. If you took all of this straight from my strings and my WeakAuras, you would have to move your player frames and your rage bars around it. Or you can move it all on your own and put it where you want it. I'll just show basically what you can expect to see when you're in combat using it. For the most part, it's only a dummy, so obviously you're not going to see too much crazy stuff, but thought you might want to see how the cooldowns look, how the changing buffs and everything look. That's pretty much it, except if you needed help customizing anything, which it should be pretty easy. I think I explained how you could easily just change out different spells by just pretty much just changing the names and triggers that I put. If you did need help though, you could ask and I should be able to help you. If you're really new to WeakAuras and you have no idea how to put any of this in, you can download WeakAuras through Curse. I'll link something that basically brings you this pastebin that'll look a lot like this. You'll just see this long bit of nonsense that you have no idea what any of it means. Copy and paste that, you would hit new and then click import and you would paste whatever you copied into here. You have to make sure you copy it exactly, otherwise it will not import correctly. Other than that, hopefully you like the UI. If you do, there will be pastebin links and you could easily download them and then you can customize it however you want.